I'm Georgia Veale.
And I'm Wernick, and the river we chose is Mount Douglas Creek in Mount Douglas Park in Victoria, British Columbia.
Our river collects water from the urban area of Gordon Head and flows through the park east of Pickles or Mount Douglas to Mount Douglas Beach, where it meets the water of Harrow Strait.
We classify this river as meandering because we have observed many bends and curves in its path and features that are indicative of a meandering stream, such as cut banks and point bars.
Douglas Creek falls within the CSB zone of Köppen-Geiger classification system, meaning it's a temperate region with a dry summer and is drought inclined, with 70% of the precipitation it experiences is within the winter. The coldest month has average temperatures below 18 degrees Celsius, but above 0 degrees Celsius. It is a mesothermal climate with significant rain in the winter months, but less in the surrounding area due to the rain shadow effect caused by the Olympic Mountains to the south.
The creek experiences a significant amount of rainfall in winter months, causing a rise in stream flow and little to no flow in summer months. Historical data shows peak stream flow rates occur in November with an all-time high of 0.45 cubic meters per second occurring in mid-November. The local topography of the area is very interesting. Much of Victoria is very close to sea level. As such, Douglas Creek only travels an elevation of 40 meters from headwaters to outflow. This gradually sloping area allows large meanders to form for such a short creek. Near the headwaters, the landscape is nearly flat. As the stream travels to the outflow, the slope increases on either side of the creek, suggesting the creek is downcutting into the sediment below. We suspect that Douglas Creek does collect water from Pickles, one of the highest points of elevation in the area, with a height of approximately 200 meters, through drains on the east side.
The area of the park is well vegetated with many conifers and various brush. There are paths along the river that are not vegetated and have very compacted soil. Downriver, there are large boulders that seem to be artificially placed so as to preserve the creek channel and reduce erosion. We also observed what we suspect to be a clay or silt layer underneath an overlying layer of soil, which could be preventing further development of meanders, as clay needs very high energy to erode. To the southeast of the river is the urban area of Gordon Head. Much of the precipitation that falls in this area enters storm drain systems, where the water eventually passes through a weir and enters Douglas Creek. This weir is meant to restrict pollutants from the urban environment from entering the creek and affecting the salmon spawning grounds downstream.
Our river is located in Mount Douglas or Pickles Park in Victoria, BC. From the UVic campus, Mount Douglas Park is northeast. If parked in the Mount Douglas parking lot, you can cross Cedar Hill Road and follow the green trail that enters the park, eventually crossing the headwaters of the creek. From there, trails lead you all the way down to the beach where the creek enters the ocean.
Our first feature is a cut bank. This feature is created as river flow is concentrated on the outer bend of a river. This is the deepest part of flow, called the thalweg, and has the highest energy. This high energy erodes and transports sediment away. As it removes more sediment, the bank experiences degradation and the meander grows larger over time through this process.
The second feature of this river is a point bar. Similarly to a cut bank, river energy decreases on the inside of a river bend, and any sediment being transported by the water, mostly bed load, through rolling salitation or traction, is deposited on the inside of these bends. This aggradation causes point bars to form and the meander to grow over time, becoming more dramatic.
This river meets the ocean and forms a delta. Our third feature. This is a depositional feature where river energy decreases due to reduced slope and the removal of constraints like high banks. The finest sediment being transported, often by siltation, is deposited here and forms a fan-like landform, most likely underwater. It is most easily seen through the satellite photo. As mentioned earlier, the gradual slope of the river over a short distance and short elevation change means meanders easily form, consisting of cut banks and point bars. Because our river flows directly into the ocean, we also had a small delta formation from sediment eroded from the channel bottom and cut banks that were deposited.
At the time we visited, there was a steady flow of water, but overall discharge was low. So while there were some large rocks and boulders, we suspected these were anthropological changes, and most sediment naturally eroded was smaller. This river is a classic meandering formation.
We enjoyed getting outside for a school assignment and visiting a trail neither of us had been to. We found the process of working on the vlog difficult, such as divvying up the work and collaborating on all aspects that goes into this lab. But we managed to produce a vlog we hope is informative.